Hello, Prophet. So we're here to do the spotlight for the OurTrees. My first question was, what's your role or position in OurTrees?
Well, I met Jessica about 2 years ago, and she came to me with a handful of music that was done in FL Studio, and I've been making music under that sort of interface for years, and I'd almost kind of like taken it, I put it as a back burner project. I've been working on things and whatnot, but she really, I don't know, she brought me all this really good music. It was raw. She didn't really necessarily know all the mixing and everything out of it yet, because she'd just been playing with it for a couple months even, but her tracks were amazing. They really kicked ass. And so basically I was like, well, I haven't really been doing too much lately, but I got I got some skills. I've been in the game for 7 years. I know the ins and outs of the programs like through and through. And she's like, oh, why don't you just throw some stuff over the tracks? And I was like, well, okay. We're both cancers, both born in July, and naturally just like there was a synergy, and it went from me being a producer to kind of like throwing some keys on a track and then throwing some samples here and there, and the next thing you know, throwing vocals on track, co-writing lyrics, and the band became us. And so we had to eventually like split our stuff into like some of the stuff was OurTrees, which is me and her, the stuff I put a lot of my like creative work into, and then I still act as a producer with her other stuff, her solo stuff, which would be Jessica Dabra.
Alright, so creatively, you do stand as a member in OurTrees. Can you tell me about some of your favorite songs?
My favorite song I'd probably say is the first one we worked on, which unfortunately we're not going to be hearing this one for like probably another 6 months, but it's called Wild Planet. We're working on a full-length album. I know Jessica mentioned in her last interview. It's called Fourth World Problems, and we were originally just going to release it as one big album, but there's so many tracks, so we're split it between 2 EPs. And the first one's a New Model Divine EP, and the second one's the Other Side EP. And Wild Planet's going to be on that second EP, and it's really exciting. It's more experimental stuff, and a lot of the tracks were tracks actually we built from the ground up together. This first EP that we're going to release, I don't know if I can even say this on an interview, but it's my favorite track is Goat Bleeper.
Oh, okay. Alright, so why the long wait for your favorite track? Was it just a business decision?
For what?
For your favorite track going on the second part of the EP?
Oh, well, basically we recorded a whole bunch of tracks, and we have vocals done for about half the tracks, and we've been doing that for the last couple months. And the second half of the tracks, we have most of the vocals done, and we have a lot of the mixing, but it's like we just kind of want to get out there, get our name out there. We're pretty much almost ready for live shows. We have someone talking about doing a music video. We have all this stuff that's pretty much ready for release, and we're like, well, do we really want to spend all this time focusing on this, trying to release like 12 or 18 tracks when people only want singles nowadays? And so we're like, okay, we can't just release a single. We're going to have a meat out there. So we compromise. We're like, EP. Let's throw an EP out there, release the second half of the EP, of the album as a second EP, and then, eventually, if there's enough interest from people, and then we get a good view, then we'll release a full-length album. That's the long-term plan, It's just good luck getting a person never hearing your band nowadays, in today's music market, to sit down and listen to an album from beginning to end.
True that.
Good luck.
So, where else do you see OurTrees going in the future? Is live something that you're hoping on getting out there pretty quick? Doing live shows?
Absolutely. Live's actually been one of my biggest barriers. I've been in bands for 7 years now, 8 years, 10 years. Oh, it's been almost a decade. If you include my early beginnings of just doing metal bands, it's been 10 years. 7 years in the electronic scene, producing stuff, and I still haven't done like a full-on live show. I'll admit it, it's a little bit pussy, but no, with Jessica, she's been like, seriously, she has this energy to her. She has inspired me to actually get a bunch of live shit going for my other bands, and now we got live things going for OurTrees. Jessica's really the front woman. Like, I do vocals, I've helped write things, but she's the energy behind the band, and she's ready for live shows now. So we're just kind of just working out the logistics, working out the actual, like, what venues are available, and we're going to be playing live shows, I say, in a month or two. That's our future right there.
Alright, so why don't you tell me a little bit about your hometown then? What does Vancouver do for you and Jessica?
Vancouver is non-fluoridated water. It's pineal gland, and it's kale. Sorry, I had to say it. No, Vancouver is a scene that is really open-minded, and that's something that I've really, you commonly think of Vancouver and you hear, oh, it's a bunch of jaded people, and nobody opens their mind to the new stuff, but every single person I've showed my music, and Jessica's music, or any music that I've ever worked with, which all tends to be kind of experimental out there music, people are really, they're geared up to hear it. They want to hear stuff from their local town. It doesn't matter how weird it is, people in Vancouver want to hear other things from Vancouver. We have, this sort of spirit to us that I really appreciate, and so between that and the naturey atmosphere, how can you not be inspired when you're around trees and wildlife, even